Breaking news for every American driver. If you drive a car, truck, or SUV anywhere in the United States, you need to hear this because 2026 is bringing some of the biggest driving law changes we've seen in years. These new rules could cost you hundreds or even thousands of dollars, and in some cases, they could cost you your license. The scary part? Most drivers have no idea these changes are coming. Starting in January 2026, states across the country are rolling out new traffic laws, tougher penalties, higher fines, and stricter enforcement. And if you're not prepared, you could get caught completely off guard. So do yourself a favor right now. Hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and watch this entire video, because missing even one of these new rules could be an expensive mistake you'll regret. Let's get straight into it. Rule number 10 is the one that's going to shock the most drivers, because people think they already understand phone laws, but they really don't. Hands-free cell phone laws are expanding rapidly across the United States starting in January 2026, and the penalties are becoming much harsher than anything we've seen before. Now, you might be thinking, wait, isn't using your phone while driving already illegal? Yes, in many places it is. But here's the problem. Most drivers don't realize how aggressively these laws are changing. Over a dozen states are either creating brand new distracted driving laws or dramatically increasing penalties under existing laws, and the fines are no longer small. In the past, getting caught holding your phone might cost you $50 or $100. Annoying, sure, but not life-changing. Starting in 2026, that's over. States like Georgia, Ohio, Pennsylvania, and Arizona are raising first offense fines to $200, $300, or even $500. And if you get caught a second time, you could be looking at $500 to $1,000 in fines, plus points added to your license that stay there for years. Those points don't just sit there quietly either. They cause your car insurance rates to skyrocket. States like California, New York, and Washington are going even further. Repeat offenders can be forced to attend expensive driver education programs, perform community service, or even face temporary license suspension of 30, 60, or 90 days. And here's the key detail most people miss. These laws don't just apply to texting. They include holding your phone at a stoplight, scrolling music apps, checking GPS while driving, even briefly picking up your phone in traffic. Drop a comment below and tell me honestly, how often do you touch your phone while driving? Rule number 9 is spreading fast, and it's something you really need to pay attention to. Automated enforcement through speed cameras and red light cameras is exploding across the country in 2026. Hundreds, possibly thousands of new cameras are being installed in cities, suburbs, school zones, construction zones, and major highways. And here's what makes it worse. The speed tolerance is getting lower. What used to be 10 miles per hour over the limit is now becoming 5 miles per hour over, or even 3 miles per hour over in some areas. I already know what a lot of you are thinking. These cameras are just money grabs. They don't actually make roads safer. Look, I get it. That argument comes up all the time, and studies show evidence on both sides. But here's the reality you can't ignore. These cameras don't care how you feel. They don't give warnings. They don't show mercy. If you trigger one, the ticket shows up in your mailbox. States like New York, Illinois, Maryland, and Colorado are dramatically expanding camera enforcement programs in 2026, and the fines are going up. A single camera ticket can now cost $100, $150, or more depending on location, and in some states, multiple camera violations can lead to license points or registration holds. That means you won't be able to renew your registration until everything is paid. And yes, even if you didn't realize a camera was there, you're still responsible. Rule number 8 is extremely serious, so pay close attention. Several states are lowering their legal blood alcohol concentration limits starting in January 2026 and increasing DUI penalties at the same time. For decades, the legal limit across most of the U.S. has been 0.08% BAC, but that standard is changing. A few years ago, Utah made national headlines when it lowered its legal limit to 0.5% BAC. Now, other states are following that exact path. States like Washington, Oregon, Colorado, and Hawaii are either implementing 0.5% limits or moving very close to approving them. And here's why this matters so much. Most people think, I'm fine after 1 or 2 drinks, but under a 0.5% law, 2 drinks can easily put you over the limit, depending on your size, metabolism, and how quickly you drank. That means a DUI arrest, thousands of dollars in fines, license suspension, mandatory alcohol education programs, and massive insurance increases. And DUI penalties in 2026 are getting tougher, not lighter. Some states are increasing mandatory minimum fines, jail time for repeat offenses, and ignition interlock requirements. Let me ask you this. Be honest. Have you or someone you know ever driven home after just 2 drinks thinking everything was fine? Drop a comment below. I want to see how common this really is. That brings us to the end of rule number 8. In the next chunk, we'll cover electric vehicle fees, street racing and reckless driving crackdowns, and license renewal testing changes. We're halfway through the list, and the next few rules are the ones that can hit your wallet every single year, even if you're not breaking the law on purpose. Let's keep going. Rule number 7 is about electric vehicles, and it's catching a lot of EV owners completely off guard. Starting in January 2026, many states are introducing new annual registration fees for electric vehicles, or increasing the fees they already charge. If you drive an electric car, you've probably noticed something important over the years. You don't pay gas taxes. Gas taxes are what states use to fund road repairs, highway construction, bridge maintenance, and transportation infrastructure. For decades, that system worked just fine. But now, with millions of drivers switching to electric vehicles, states are losing billions of dollars in gas tax revenue, and they're moving fast to replace it. States like Texas, Ohio, Virginia, Georgia, Michigan, and Arizona are rolling out new EV-specific fees in 2026. In most cases, these fees range from $100 to $200 per year. Some states are going even higher for heavier electric vehicles, and these fees are on top of your normal registration costs. Some states are also tightening emissions and inspection rules for gas-powered vehicles at the same time, especially in urban areas. That means higher inspection costs, stricter emissions testing, and fewer exemptions. Whether you drive electric or gas, 2026 is making vehicle ownership more expensive across the board. If you own an EV, drop a comment. Do you think these fees are fair, or do they defeat the purpose of going electric? Rule number 6 is serious, and this one applies even if you think it doesn't. Street racing laws are being rewritten and expanded across the United States in 2026, and the definition of reckless driving is getting much broader. States are responding to a rise in illegal street racing, viral social media racing videos, and high-profile fatal accidents. Places like Florida, California, Nevada, Georgia, Texas, and Texas are increasing penalties dramatically. We're talking about thousands of dollars in fines, immediate vehicle impoundment, license suspension, and even felony charges for repeat offenses. And here's the part that surprises most people. You don't have to be racing. Under new definitions, reckless driving can include excessive speeding, rapid lane changes, aggressive acceleration, and participating as a spectator at illegal races. Let's talk about Florida as an example. Starting in 2026, if police catch you street racing or driving recklessly, your vehicle can be impounded on the spot, held for up to 30 days. No warnings, no exceptions. You are responsible for towing fees, storage fees, impoundment fees, which can easily add up to hundreds or thousands of dollars. And if you get caught again, your license can be revoked and felony charges are on the table. Drop a comment and tell me what you think. Should spectators at street races face the same penalties as drivers, or is that going too far? Rule number 5 is one that a lot of drivers won't see coming until it's too late. Starting in January 2026, several states are making driver license renewal requirements stricter, especially for older drivers. For years, renewing your license has been easy. Fill out a form, take a new photo, pay a fee. That's changing. States like California, Florida, Illinois, Pennsylvania, and New Jersey are expanding requirements for vision tests, written knowledge tests, and in some cases, road tests. These rules usually apply to drivers over 70 or 75 years old, depending on the state. From the state's perspective, the reasoning is simple. As people age, vision can decline, reaction time slows, and certain medical conditions become more common. But for many older drivers who have been driving safely for decades, these new rules feel unfair and insulting. Imagine driving accident-free for 50 years, only to be told you now need to pass a road test just to keep your license. And if you fail, you may face license restrictions, shorter renewal periods, or full suspension until you retest. This is one of those changes that hits families hard, especially when older adults rely on driving for independence. If you or someone you love is affected by this, drop a comment and let me know how you feel about it. Rule number 4 might sound small compared to others, but it adds up fast. Parking fines and moving violation fines are increasing across the country in 2026, and in some cities, they're doubling. Many cities haven't updated fine amounts in decades. Now they're doing it all at once. What used to be a $25 parking ticket is becoming $50 or $75. What used to be a $100 speeding ticket is becoming $150 to $250. Cities justify this by saying inflation has increased costs, enforcement is more expensive, higher fines change behavior. Whether you agree or not, the result is the same. One small mistake now hurts a lot more financially, and in some cities, unpaid tickets can lead to booted vehicles, registration holds, collections, and credit damage. If you've ever ignored a parking ticket, 2026 is not the year to keep doing that. That covers rules 7 through 4. In the final chunk, we'll cover mandatory dash cams, harsh penalties for uninsured drivers, and new licensing rules for teen drivers. These last 3 rules affect your families, your insurance, and your privacy, so don't tune out now. Rule number 3 is brand new, and it's already sparking heated debate. Starting in 2026, some states are requiring or strongly encouraging dash cameras in certain vehicles, and this trend could spread quickly. Right now, this mainly affects commercial drivers, rideshare drivers, and delivery drivers. But pilot programs in states like Nevada and parts of California are beginning to include regular personal vehicles, especially in high-accident areas. Under these programs, drivers are encouraged and in some cases required to install forward-facing dash cams that record the road. The reasons states are giving sound logical: clear evidence in accidents, faster investigations, reduced insurance fraud, and protection for innocent drivers. And there's a financial incentive too. Many insurance companies are now offering 5 to 15% discounts, lower deductibles, and faster claim processing. A 10% discount could save you $100 to $300 per year, depending on your insurance rate. But there's a downside: privacy. Some drivers are uncomfortable with the idea that their driving is being recorded, footage could be requested after accidents, and data could be stored or shared. This is one of those laws where the benefits and concerns are both real. Let me ask you, would you install a dash cam if it lowered your insurance? Or do the privacy concerns outweigh the savings? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Rule number 2 is hitting uninsured drivers harder than ever before. Driving without insurance has always been illegal in almost every state, but in 2026, the penalties are escalating fast. States like Arizona, Michigan, North Carolina, Tennessee, and Missouri are dramatically increasing punishments. In the past, a first offense might cost a few $100s, maybe a warning. That era is over. Starting in 2026, if you're caught without insurance, you could face $500 to $1,000 in fines, immediate vehicle impoundment, license suspension for 30 to 90 days, registration suspension, and that's just the beginning. To get back on the road, you may have to buy insurance, pay all fines, pay reinstatement fees, and file proof of insurance, an SR-22. All of that costs money, a lot of it, and insurance companies charge much higher premiums when you've been caught uninsured. Even drivers who thought they had coverage can get caught by this if a payment failed, a policy lapsed, or paperwork wasn't updated. This is why it's more important than ever to double-check your insurance status in 2026. One mistake can cost you thousands. Rule number 1 affects families more than any other change on this list. Several states are making graduated driving licensing programs much stricter starting in January 2026. Graduated licensing has existed for years, but it varied widely from state to state. That's changing. States like Virginia, New Jersey, Massachusetts, Washington, and Oregon are tightening requirements to reduce accidents among teen drivers, who, statistically, have the highest crash rates. Here's what's changing. Young drivers, typically under 18, will now face longer learner permit periods, often 12 months instead of 6, more supervised driving hours, 60 to 100 hours instead of 30 to 40, stricter nighttime driving limits, some states banning driving after 9 p.m., and tougher passenger restrictions, no non-family passengers for 6 to 12 months. Breaking these rules can lead to license suspension, extended probation periods, delayed full licensing. For parents, this means more supervision, more responsibility, more planning. For teens, it means less freedom, more restrictions, slower independence. Whether you agree with it or not, these rules are coming, and families need to prepare now. From stricter phone laws and lower DUI limits to higher fines, new fees, and tougher licensing rules, these changes affect everyone, whether you're a daily commuter, a parent, a rideshare driver, or someone who only drives occasionally. If this video helped you avoid expensive tickets, higher insurance rates, or losing your license, do 3 things right now. Subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and share this video with every driver you know. Drop a comment telling me which rule shocked you the most, because I read every single one. Remember, knowledge is power, and staying informed can save you thousands of dollars. Thanks for watching, and drive safe.